So as a treat, I've decided to read two stories today. This one is Winnie and Wilbur, the Dinosaur Day. So I hope you enjoy it. It's linked to the reception topic next term, so a good one for you to listen to. So, Winnie and Wilbur, the Dinosaur Day by Valerie Thomas and Corky Paul. Winnie the Witch and her big black cat Wilbur loved to visit the museum. It was full of fascinating things. There were creepy crawlies, slinky snakes, bugs and beetles. There were buttons to push, levers to pull and games to play. But best of all was the dinosaur room. Winnie and Wilbur liked to look at the bones and footprints and models. "I'd love to see a real dinosaur one day," Winnie always said, and Wilbur always thought, "I'm glad I don't see a real dinosaur." One day, when Winnie and Wilbur were flying home from the library, Winnie looked down and saw a big crowd of people in the museum courtyard. "Whatever's happening here?" asked Winnie, and she flew down to have a look. There, in the courtyard, was an enormous skeleton. It was Dinosaur Week at the museum, and there was a special competition. Winnie loved winning prizes. She looked carefully at the skeleton. It was very, very big, with lots of spiky bits. Winnie couldn't decide whether to do a picture or a model, and she couldn't decide what the dinosaur might look like. "It's too hard, Wilbur," Winnie said, but she really wanted to win the prize. Then Winnie had an idea. "Jump on my shoulder, Wilbur," said Winnie, and they zoomed up into the sky and back to Winnie's house. Winnie got out her big book of spells. "Yes," she said. She shut her eyes, stamped her foot and shouted, "Abracadabra!" There was a flash of fire, a great whoosh, and Winnie and Wilbur went back in the time of the dinosaurs. There were dinosaurs everywhere. Big dinosaurs, enormous dinosaurs, gigantic dinosaurs. Winnie and Wilbur hid in a tree. "Now, all we have to do is find a dinosaur that looks like the skeleton," said Winnie. "That should be easy." "Meow," said Wilbur. He didn't like the time of the dinosaurs. Winnie looked carefully around. "There it is," she shouted. "Of course, it's a triceratops. Look at these 3 horns, Wilbur." "Meow," said Wilbur. He didn't want to look. He wanted to go home. Winnie got out her drawing book and her coloured pencils. It was a much easier drawing, a real dinosaur. Her drawings looked exactly like the triceratops. Well, it looked quite like the triceratops. "This is an excellent drawing," said Winnie. "It's sure to win the prize. But now we need to get back to the museum." "I know, the triceratops can take us." "Meow," said Wilbur. He put his paws over his eyes. Winnie picked him up, jumped onto the dinosaur's back, waved her magic wand and shouted, "Abracadabra." And the dinosaur whooshed off to the museum. Professor Perkins was getting ready to present the prize when the dinosaur landed in the courtyard. Everybody was very surprised. "Well," said Professor Perkins, "I think we all know who has won the competition." And he gave a big shiny medal to the Triceratops. The dinosaur was delighted. He had never won a prize before. Winnie didn't mind too much. Then Winnie and Wilbur took the dinosaur home for tea. The dinosaur didn't like sandwiches or muffins or cakes, but he enjoyed eating Winnie's trees, and her roses were delicious. "Oh dear," Winnie said, "he'll eat my whole garden. It's a pity he's so big, Wilbur. He's such a nice dinosaur." Then Winnie had a wonderful idea. She waved her magic wand and shouted, "Abracadabra." And the enormous dinosaur was a tiny dinosaur. So now Winnie never has to cut her grass, and Wilbur has a playmate that is just the right size. He is no longer scared of the Triceratops. The end.